Start en route to Human Performance Unit. Head south on Harvest Way, then turn right.
Morning everybody, we've got 2 weeks until race day. 1 week until the race week, 12 days until I'll be running Manchester Marathon. Absolutely can't wait now. I'm feeling pretty fit for it, to be honest. Pretty confident, pretty focused. Training has gone well. I've barely missed any runs right the way through this block of training. I've avoided COVID so far. A couple of days off here or there with minor little niggles, but nothing more than that. So feeling really confident going into these last 12 days. As you just heard, today I'm off to the Human Performance Unit in Colchester, University of Essex, for a lactate threshold test, which should be exciting. I've done one of these before. It's kind of terrifying but kind of fun. So they strap you up onto a running machine, harness you to the ceiling above, cover you in sensors, give you a big oxygen mask, and basically make you run, I think it's like 1 minute at a time, ramping the speed up all the way through. Every minute you hop off the treadmill, they take a blood test, check for lactic acid in your blood, and then you jump back on, run a bit quicker, keep going until you can't run any quicker, and then from those calculations they can work out when your body can no longer clear out the lactic acid, or clear out the lactate and start producing lactic acid. And you can work out your lactate threshold levels, you can work out your heart rate zones for training, all that sort of stuff. So it's really useful calculations and tests for keen runners like myself. And lots of local sort of sports universities and things will do that. Not only does it help the students who are learning about sports physiology, but it also helps everyday runners like me. So if you haven't done it, look up your local university, of sports university, Loughborough, that sort of thing, and get involved. It's lots of fun. Heading over there today, then later on tonight I'm coaching the club run session.
At the roundabout, take the first exit onto Norwich Road.
Yeah, so tonight I'm heading over to club, coaching the club session, which is going to be a hill session. Tomorrow I've got a little speedy effort session. Thursday 9 miles, easy-ish. Friday rest day. Saturday 6 or 7 miles, easy. Sunday is only 11 miles, which I'm incorporating a club social run with a breakfast stop. So fairly short week, and then we're almost there. Right, let's head off to University of Essex. Okay, heading home after a successful session at the Human Performance Unit in Cambridge, doing VO2 Max testing. It's fairly brutal, but it's great fun. If you're in a decent block of training, if you've been injury free for a while, training's going well, you're feeling that you're in good shape, I highly recommend doing it. The guys there are fantastically knowledgeable. They're all sports science students or scientists. They help with training, they help with all sorts of advice, heart rate zones, anything we ask them, to be honest. They knew about the impact of carbon plate soles, the difference between varying sorts of gels, heart rate training, fat burning zones, all sorts of stuff. They're really helpful, and it's a great session to go to. It took about 2 hours for myself and 2 hours for Marcus. So basically you go through the height, weight, urine test, blood pressure, that sort of stuff. Look at your, have to fill out a questionnaire in advance looking at your medical history and your training background and your health status, I guess. And then you do a sort of base level lactate test by taking a pinprick from your ear, taking a blood sample, and then putting that through the machine to get your base level of lactate. Then they start you off. You obviously do a bit of a warm up, so 5 or 6 minutes running, walking, warm up, and then you start off with a 3 minute run at, I think they said it was 9.2 k's per hour. So what's that, like a 1 hour, just under a 1 hour 10k pace. So you start off nice and gentle, heart rate nice and low, run for 3 minutes, then you jump to the side of the treadmill, pinprick in your ear, another lactate test. The treadmill then goes up by 1 kilometre per hour to 10.2, jump back on again, run for another 3 minutes, 3, 2, 1, jump off, another lactate test. So basically you keep doing 3-minute runs with a 30-second rest for a blood lactate test from your ear, and you keep going until you can go no further, basically. So I think I got over 16 k's per hour, so I got sub 6-minute miling by the end. You're obviously wearing a big face mask, so breathing is difficult, there's no air, it's really hot, it feels really hot because there's no air, so it's quite a hot environment. Running is hard with a big face mask on it, but you just keep going, and the guys are great. They encourage you through the session, and you're sort of giving them an RPE score out of 20, and on the last block I think I pointed to about 18, 19, about 30 seconds in. I think, to be honest, I knew I was onto my last block. I knew if I could complete that block I would be happy. There's this big screen up with all the graphs and numbers, heart rate, all this sort of stuff on it. I don't look at that because you can see the point where you're running on fumes basically, and where CO2 is being produced, you're not able to take in enough oxygen to fuel what you're doing. So you can see the point where you've got no more. So I didn't look at the screen at all. I just kept going. When I got onto my last block, I knew it would be my last block. All my target was to complete that last block. 3 minutes. You just go as long and as hard as you can, and then they say halfway there, and you think, oh god, another 90 seconds to go. You just keep running and running and running, and they keep telling you to shuffle forward or back because you're starting to get a little bit wobbly, you're starting to see stars and the world's starting to close around you a little bit. So you get a 90-second warning, and then about 15 minutes later, or what it seems like, you then get a 1-minute warning to say you're into your last minute, and it's just a case of hang on and hang on and hang on and get to the end before jumping off, final lactate test, and then spend a couple of minutes recovering. But it is brutal, utterly brutal, but really useful. And if you're used to running hard, you're used to putting yourself through the mill, then it's fine. It's a hard effort session. It just keeps ramping up all the way through, but it's fantastic, and I will probably do it more often. I'm in a good place in my training right now. I've mentioned in my previous videos, training is going really well. I'm happy with where I am. Marathon PB shape, yeah, probably, I think I am. 5k, 10k PB shape, probably not. I've not got that speed because of all the long miles I've been doing. I don't think I've got the short distance speed, but I've got good endurance and I've got good fitness built up, so the session went really well. It takes a bit of time to recover. I think I don't know what my max heart rate was. I got it over 190 something at the end there, so I knew I was going through the ringer. I knew I had nothing left, but I knew I would finish that block and be done with it. And to see that it was sub 6-minute miling, I don't know exactly what, with a mask on, inside, on a treadmill, I'm chuffed to bits with that. So there you go, lactate threshold testing at Human Performance Unit. Okay, so Wednesday today, I'm just about to do tonight's effort session, which is 2-mile warm-up and then 4 lots of 3-minute 5k pace, 2-minute recovery, 1-minute 5k pace, 1-minute recovery. Just repeated straight through 4 times. I'm going to do the warm-up and the cool-down in the Hoka Carbon X's, which I've used quite a few times before. These ones are still very low on mileage, but I'm going to do warm-up, cool-down in these, and then for the effort block through the middle, I'm going to use the new race shoes, which some of you will have guessed are the Nike Vaporfly Next Percent. So super excited to try these. Haven't tried these before. Seen many a runner in them going past me in races. Noisy shoes. I've always found that they're quite noisy. You can hear them sort of slapping on the ground, but really excited to try them. I'm going to give them a try first of all just on the treadmill, see how I get on. Size wise, I've got the same as the Hoka Carbon X's, which is 1 size up, so these are a UK 10. I'd normally wear a UK 9 in sort of general shoes, but a size up in running shoes. But yeah, excited to try these. You're not going to miss me coming in these either. Loud as anything, but if you're going to get them, get the loud ones, that's what I say. So warm up, cool down in the Hokers, and then the main effort blocks in these next Nike Vaporflies. Okay, that's the effort blocks finished. Just going back into the Hokers now. These things, they feel really fast. They feel stable. They feel comfortable, they feel springy. They do feel fast, I've got to admit it. You can see why people like to run in them. I've had a bit of video done while I've been running in them. But they do feel impressive. Yeah, at the Lactate Threshold test yesterday, the sports scientist there said you get about 50 kilometres out of a decent pair of carbon sole shoes before they feel so springy and so effortless that you can see how that can. I understand what he means. You can feel how it could fade as that springiness goes. It's a definite fresh sort of spring to it, and impressive, mighty impressive. Yeah, I'll be wearing those at Manchester, that's for sure. They feel great. They feel baby giraffe on the moon. That's what I'm going to say. They're like baby giraffe on the moon. Feel mad, but good fun. So back into the Carbon X's now for the 1.5 mile cool down, and then we're done. Okay, let's wrap this week up. So Tuesday was my VO2 Max testing. Had a really great session, really enjoyed it. Pleased with how I did. Pleased I finished the last block of running when your head's telling you to stop but your heart's telling you to go on. I knew I was in oxygen debt at the end, I knew I was hanging on, but I got the block finished, felt good. Home after that, and then out in the evening doing the coached session for the club. So I just had an easy warm up and cool down, and then coached the main session, which I wasn't involved in, so it was just some gentle miles on pretty tired legs, I don't mind saying. Wednesday I had my effort session trying out the new Nike Vaporfly. So I did 4 lots of 2 mile warm up, then 4 lots of 3-minute 5k pace, 2 minutes recovery, 1 minute 5k pace, 1 minute recovery, which I did on the treadmill. I'll put the video in, or you've just seen the video, or the video is about to follow, I'm not too sure, but I recorded some of the session on the treadmill. New shoes feel amazing, looking forward to using those in the race. It'll be a bit of fun. And then Thursday, club run, so 7 miles, 8:30-ish pace, I think, just gentle miles. Friday should have been a rest day, but I'm coaching my mate down in Surrey, so that was another 6 miles. We did 4 mile warm up, 4 lots of 1 minute effort, and a mile cool down. But all the easy miles are really easy, so that was a fairly gentle session, to be honest with you, just 4 little efforts within it. Saturday rest day, and then today I've just done 12.5 miles, super easy, 8:30. Nice easy miles, followed by breakfast. So that was a club social run loop, which I just ran to first. So a cracking week, let's say. 38 miles for the week. We now have 7 days until the marathon, so starting to get things sorted out, starting to think ahead, starting to think about meals and staying hydrated through the week ahead. Had my marathon haircut, as you can see, getting streamlined. It's all about those marginal gains, isn't it? So had my hair all shaved off. But yeah, it's focusing on rest and recovery and eating and drinking well, looking after myself, avoiding COVID. It's all those little things now. I really can't complain at all about this training block, to be honest. Everything has gone about as well as it can do. I've missed, what, 2 runs, 3 runs, I don't know, not a lot more than that. I've not missed many runs at all. I've not had any illnesses or problems. Heart rate seems a lot better this marathon block than it did for the last marathon block, so I feel a lot more comfortable. Having had such a long time off before the last marathon, or such a long time of no racing before the last marathon, I forgot a few things, I think, racing, about how organised you have to be with things like breakfast and nutrition and stuff like that on the run. So I'm really looking forward to next Sunday being a lot more prepared than I was last time round. Getting the breakfast sorted in plenty of time, working out race start time. When I raced Manchester 6 months ago, it was pretty much the first mass start race I'd done in about 18 months, and you forget all of the little nitty gritties of racing and how prepared you have to be. And I did certainly go into it on the day unprepared, but yeah, this week it's going to be a fairly quiet, gentle week. I travel up to Manchester Friday night. I'm there all day Saturday, gentle day, looking after myself, and then race Sunday. So looking forward to this week. Can't wait to get cracking at the weekend, although I already can't wait to get cracking in the next training block. I'm already thinking about incorporating more cycling to help, if anything, with the cost of diesel prices, but more cycling, more strength training, all these things I say I'm going to do, and they just fall by the wayside as the running miles pick up. But you know, it is what it is. I've got no complaints, I've got no excuses, I've got nothing, no concerns ahead of this race. It is just being smart on the day, being sensible on the day, racing well, and making best of the opportunities I've got with this race. So really can't wait, and hopefully I might see 1 or 2 of you there. It'd be nice to have a catch up with anyone. I've got to catch up on the Saturday night with some friends who are also running, going out for a meal the night before. I'd normally have pizza the night before a race, but this time I'm having spaghetti bolognese because I've been told it's better energy source. So I'm trying to tick every box, but hey, let's get on with it. 7 days to go. Hope you've had a good week. Let me know what you've been up to, how your week's gone, how your last weeks of training are going, if you're racing in the next week or 2 as well. Yeah, fire in any comments, let me know how it's gone, any thoughts. But I'll wrap this one up. Next one will be race week video, which hopefully I'll try and get out for Saturday. I think I'll do race week video, get out on Saturday, and then maybe just a video on its own on race day. But have a good week, see you soon, thanks for watching, see you later.